Today's video passed things right back to their basic best. Thrills, spills, climbing and cake, plenty of cake, in the district of the lakes, with amazing company and a Goldilocks route, replete with switchback, panoramas, and for me, mama bear distance and elevation. This kind of ride is my personal cycling nirvana.
Blea Tarn, from the pretty side, if we can see any of it, here we come, Lee.
Confidence at the beginning of the ride was maybe a little bit rocky because the physical stress of La Marmotte 2 weeks prior had caught up with me, and I was still wondering if I actually had it in me to get round the 184 kilometres and 4,000 metres of climbing in the Fred Whitton the very next day. As an aside, the 5,000 metres of climbing for La Marmotte was all zone 2, 200 to 210 watts, but on a ride lasting over 8 hours, I do find that for me personally, it creates an attritional kind of stress on the body. One that hit me like a bow wave about 5 days after completing it. Lee Baxter and I had warmed up the blood and the legs with a little spin up Red Bank climb en route to the first of the valleys of the gods, Great Langdale, for our second climb of the day, Blea Tarn from the east. Official 100 climbs number 182 Blea Tarn. Yeah, 182, go figure, sits between the valleys of Great Langdale and Little Langdale. And we have to thank an Ice Age glacier and British engineering for its sensational switchbacks. A formidable partnership indeed. Beautiful Blea from the east affords us 1.2 kilometres of perfection at an average gradient of 10.3%, whilst we dispatched this in an exhilarating 5 minutes 53 seconds. The rain and the mist, however, denied us the ability to share with you some spectacular rear view vistas. But fear not, the weather gods were much kinder to us at Wrynose once again after that for a second blast up Blea from the east.
How was that?
Hard work, Lee.
Emotional?
It was quite a way to open up the legs and the lungs this morning, Lee.
Good warm up for tomorrow.
Although Red Bank wasn't easy either.
No.
So a lot of climbing done so far. Red Bank in the rain, Blea Tarn in the bag.
The Wrynose to come.
Yeah, Wrynose, here we come.
Ready?
Yep.
You be careful going slow across here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like being on the road, is that? Yeah, we're good.
So what exactly is this Wrynose Pass, and why is it so much the perfect climb? Well, its name has evolved over the years in various forms of Scandinavian dialect. Wrenhouse, meaning Stallion's Ridge, because very fittingly from the nuanced perspective of the cyclist, back in the 12th century, the gradients were considered so steep that the horses needed to be well muscled in order to make it up. And I think the Vikings would have been super impressed with Lee Baxter's leg muscles. Once again, behold his seated low cadence power.
We're ascending into the mist.
I reckon that's in part down to the fact that he lives in these parts, and in other part down to the fact that when inside, Lee trains on the Watt Bike Pro, with its metabolic stress-inducing air resistance, in turn creating high muscular fatigue and all kinds of gains.
Look at him whiz up.
Anyway, I digress, because Wrenhouse morphed into Wrynose Hill, which in turn elegantly evolved into its current form, Wrynose, still pronounced locally as Wrynose, according to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia's never wrong, right? This area was once home to the Neolithic axe-making industry, once a state-of-the-art technology and pride of the nation, but, like Blockbusters and Woolworths, no longer trading on the London Stock Exchange, nonetheless leaving a legacy of little caves which were in turn employed by the 19th century smuggler, Lanty Slee, to distill his moonshine whiskey before spiriting the illicit liquor across the country on these very roads. So a rich history indeed, befitting of such a fine climb. And it doesn't end there, because alongside our newfangled tarmac road, replete with potholes, lies the remains of a Roman road to take troops to Hardknot Fort. So this is how we arrive at the 21st century with a segment in Strava titled Official 100 Climbs number 85, Wrynose Pass, with folk astride carbon and clad in lycra, smashing their way up its 2.54 kilometres with average gradient 11%. As is my preference, Lee also rides the gradients, taking the opportunities to lay off the watts as the elevation eases off and back on the gas as the going gets harder. It's efficient and fast, and it feels so good. I adore it.
Oh, first spin.
Lee's holiday had put him in good stead, and he was setting an infernal pace. We were going harder up Wrynose than I'd envisaged, but boy did it feel good. Only one challenge to focus on, and that was measuring out the power to get up this climb and boost the confidence, using the scenery and Lee's stoic profile as inspiration not to let off the power. Speaking earlier of attritional, the final kilometre of Wrynose, including the business end, averages 16% gradient. And because it comes after 1.4 kilometres at 10.5%, your energy is already depleted, hence the need to pace things right in the first half. The business end was very much taking its VO2 to the max toll on me, and as I later found out, the same for Lee. But up, and out of the mist, into the promised land of milk and honey.
Morning, well done, lads.
Feeling good to be alive, at the summit, it was most definitely time to stop and take in the fruits of our labour. An ascent lasting 14 minutes and 6 seconds of undiluted perfection, plus a side serving of elevated heart rate.
Wow. I do apologise. I find it quite difficult to go slow.
Lee apologises, quote unquote. He finds it quite difficult to go slow. Yeah, I can vouch for that.
And to come up with quotes.
Top of Wrynose Pass, confidence ebbing up a little bit. Lee and I have both had a bit of time off the bike. I had 4 days off, what with the moving apartment and travel. Lee, how long did you have off?
2 weeks in Spain. Yeah, nice little holiday.
Does fresh legs suit you, Lee?
No, in a word.
Does fresh legs suit anybody? Put an answer in the comments below. Certainly I need a few kms in the legs in order to have a half decent ride. Anyway, how are you feeling after Wrynose Day? You set a blistering pace.
Confidence is rising for tomorrow for sure, yes.
Quietly confident, I like that. Man from the Lake District is quietly confident.
Yes.
The soft southern Londoner, is that something? Yeah. He's not quite as quietly confident, but confidence is rising a little bit. No, the panic is low currently. I wouldn't like to ride hard not at the back end of this.
Yes.
There you go. Some of the views.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Now, I'm personally not one for always having to have a perfect cycling loop. Sometimes it's just good to retrace your steps and sample life from the opposite direction. And this in turn gave us the opportunity, too good not to take, to have a second crack at Blea from the Easy on the Eye East. But the Moisture Gremlins once again did their best to spoil my rear view cinematography. But we got some good shots, and I'll be back to capture this properly on a beautiful crisp morning. This really is an exceptional 1200 metres, and as we hit the switchbacks, my thoughts were gradually turning towards the coffee and cake stop, one of the simple cycling pleasures that makes you feel $1 million. I'd be grateful if you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, and if you haven't hit the notification bell, well please do, because views on views hopefully deserves views on screen.
Second time today.
You never know how you're going to feel until you really start pushing on the pedals.
Never a truer word said.
There's your quote for the day.
This is a nice climb, isn't it? Blea Tarn.
It's beautiful, it really is, from both directions, and the views are, well, my favourite in the Lake District without a doubt.
I showed the views from the other side, but you'd have seen them as we came up. Look at that. Moody. Sun is just trying to peek through. Dearly beloved, here we are once again convening in Lee's favourite part of the Lake District. This, the view down into which of the valleys on Blea Tarn?
Little Langdale.
Little Langdale.
Yeah.
Rain or shine, as I said before, the Lake District is always epic. Now time, Lee, I think, for tea,
Oh yeah.
cakes,
Yes.
medals is tomorrow, hopefully.
Yes. Yes.
Cake and medals tomorrow. Just tea and cake today.
And all in, out for just 2.5 hours. Some of it pottering, I do love to potter, and accomplishing just 50 kilometres, but a nourishing 1,140 metres of vertical. And for me, this length and time, some of it easy, some of it full gas, is ideal. For sure, I do enjoy the challenge of the Daddy Bear Imperial Century climbing rides, but sometimes I find that by about 110 kilometres, I kind of have my fill. So this Mama Bear distance is much more my usual cup of tea, especially if there's a decent cake and coffee emporium at the end, as there was this day.
Right. So you've done potluck on the cakes?
Potluck. Your choice.
For the wannabe climbers, the spoils, and unveiling. Ooh. Oh my word. Look at this. What have we got here? That looks like a blueberry
Crumble.
A blueberry crumble.
Yes.
Oh my word. And this one?
It's all coming back to me, and that is a... I can't remember what that one is.
It's a cherry crumble, I reckon.
Yes.
All right. They both look good. They both look good. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Blueberry crumble.
Okay. It's good.
It's good.
I'm
He's happy with that trade. All right. And a decaffeinated flat white. Cheers.
Yeah, we've got some sort of coconut based sponge cake with, what are those, cherries? Are there cherries?
Yeah, cherries in there,
Cherries.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Is it
Moist.
moist?
Good.
It's good, is
Good,
it? Yeah.
good.
All right. So here's mine. So people can see the full unveiling. Look there. New bibs needed. Mmm. Moist.
Moist.
Is the word, and that is delicious.
Yeah.
Really good. What's this place called? The Gallery Cafe Art Shop. There we go. With views and cake. Nice one, Lee.